welcome everybody to session 4 of RSL Active Veteran and First Responder Yoga. It's great to see all your faces here again this week. If there's some new faces, a very big welcome to you. And then welcome back everyone. It's awesome I look forward to this every week to see all your smiling faces. So it's really good, really rewarding. And then hello on the playback. I'm sure that you're very, very welcome. And whenever you choose to be able to come back online, we'll see you there on the mat. All right, so today we'll be going through a 60-minute beginner-friendly yoga flow. We'll be building on what we've done in the previous weeks. However, if you've missed a week, please don't stress out because we'll be covering them all in. Today, I also wanted to be able to focus on some of the standing flows, as well as maybe doing some staged bits to be able to get up from the floor to the ground. So we're going to be able to do, some of it might be challenging, but some of it might not be. But also it sort of goes in with some of, if there are trips and falls outside of this, it'll be a way to be able to build up your strength to be able to get up on your feet, or at least be able to get up to get to like a panic button or whatever. All right, so if you have a look at you in front of you, some of you are seated, that's fine. I'll be providing some modifications because it is trauma informed. So you can choose whether you do a posture or not, or choose one of the modifications, or as well as you can choose not to if you need to break. If you do need to take a break, that's absolutely fine. Please sit down. We'll be hooking into some of the more of the breath, so you may get lightheaded. So if you do get lightheaded, please just take a moment to have a sit on the ground, on the chair, or on the mat, and that's absolutely fine as well. All right. If you find yourself in discomfort, that's okay. If you're in pain, please back off to the discomfort phase. All right, I don't want you to injure yourself, and it's all about moving to your range of motion and also your flexibility for today. So every day is a little bit different, so you've got to allow yourself that flexibility to move to your range of movement and or pain for that any given day. All right, so what we're going to do is, if you can take a seat or find a seat on the chair, we'll arrive on our mat. A few creaks and cracks, that's it. And if you can't see me, that's okay. So what we're going to do is, if you can cross your legs, that's fine. If you want to put an ankle in front of each other, my hips aren't that built like that, so I usually just do a cross leg like I'm at school, right? Whatever's comfortable. Maybe just jiggle around. Are you okay? Yeah, that's okay. All right, take it slow, getting up and down. So what we're going to do now is just jiggle around a little bit and maybe feel for your sit bones. Right, those two sit bones on your butt, we're going to ground them in. Okay, maybe a bit of a jiggle here. We're going to be sitting down for a little bit. Or if your legs are straight, that's absolutely fine as well. So whichever way you can be comfortable. Maybe you might want to place your palms up or just in hand, whatever's most comfortable for you today. Let's do that. It's your choice. And then so if you can just dip your head a little bit, maybe take a soft gaze, or if you feel comfortable to close your eyes, we're just going to arrive on the mat now. We don't need to shape the breath at all. We're just going to go internal. And then when I say go internal, maybe perhaps you might want to take that choice, if your eyes are closed, to focus your gaze to the tip of the nose or in between the eyes. And that's what we call the third eye. And we're going to take a body scan. No shaping the breath at the moment. And just arriving on the mat. If you find yourself in this position here and your mind starts to wander, just to accept that, and then maybe take it back to the breath as we start to shape it now. If you need to change your legs or put them in front, that's absolutely cool, because we're just arriving, and also checking what we might need to have some TLC today. All right, what we'll do now is we're going to shape the breath, and then as what we've done previously is just imagine that our lungs are a bellows and we're stretching it out to start our practice. Taking a deep breath in with our straw breath in, just keeping the hands here at the moment still, is taking a straw breath in and maybe looking slightly up. Feeling the lungs fill up from the deep into the center of our chest, and then maybe up to our clavicle, and then we just let it go. And then maybe notice that your body grows and then shrinks as we do this. So in through the mouth, out through the mouth, through the straw. Maybe taking the gaze slightly up. Maybe one more sip. And then relax the shoulders, and then 2 more times. At the top, let's take 2 sips now. And then letting go. 1 more time. 2 more sips. 1 more. Release the shoulders, and then as we've been going through this now, if you could crack your eyes open, I want to take you through 2 things. We'll be actually practicing our Ujayi breath in a moment, and then I'm going to introduce our alternate nose breathing while we're at the breathing section and arrival. So now we're on our mats. All right, so last week we were doing the Ujayi breath, or the ocean breath, and that's the primary breath that we like to be able to use whilst we're moving through the flow. All right, so as we did this before, we'll do 3 open mouth and then open mouth exits, inhales and exhales. And then what we want you to do is just feel for that top part of the chest to expand, and maybe your ribs as well expanding. If some air goes down lower, that's even better. But what we're going to do is open up our mouth and breathe in. Like we're trying to fog up the mirror. 2 more. And then that's what we're trying to pantomime. 1 more time. This one's slightly different. What we're going to be doing is, as we breathe out, is maybe placing the top of the tongue or the back of the tongue to the roof of the mouth as we're doing it, but keeping our mouth open. So we'll do this 3 times. And then this is where you might start to hear that ocean breath, or that constriction of the back of the mouth that gives us that ocean breath. Let's try that 2 more times. Perfect. Maybe at the bottom, you might want to squeeze your tummy in, just to squeeze that last bit out. All right, for this 3rd time. All right, just trying to push that last little bit of puff. This 3rd time, let's breathe in through the mouth and then close the mouth as we breathe out, and then have our mouth do the same thing. So breathe in through the mouth. And notice to see if you feel that breath that's coming out with the ocean breath. This time though, we're going to breathe in through our nose. We'll do this 3 times, and then breathe out through our mouth, doing exactly what we've done just now. So breathing in through the nose, which goes deep, and then fantastic work. The Ujayi, or ocean breath. 2 more times. Maybe for this 3rd time, we'll bring our hands to our prayer, and then go in through the nose, and then out through the mouth, through the nose. And then 1 more time as we breathe out next time, is we're going to imagine that we're actually growing through the top and then pressing through those sit bones that we did. So inhaling, growing tall, and then exhaling and push and pull as we grow, and through, and rooting in through our tailbone, or our sit bone, sorry, and the roof of our head. All right, so let's start to warm up now using our Ujayi breath. It's taking our hands to the front. Maybe you might want to lean forward if you're in your chair, right, as well. And then inhaling, looking to our hands, and Ujayi out as we're hinging from the hips, touching the hands, pause for a moment like a ball's bouncing, and then inhale again. Exhaling with the Ujayi breath. Trying to link this up now for a quick bounce, and then hands up, and then 1 last time. This next one's going to be different. We're going to be coming up. As we inhale, as we exhale, we're going to do our Ujayi, but our cactus arms. Inhaling, and then exhaling. In Ujayi breath. 2 more times like this. Inhale, exhaling. Squeezing the shoulder blades as we get to open. Inhaling, and then down. One last time, inhaling, opening up the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades, inhaling, fantastic work. Down, we're going to start rotating now, a rotation, so inhale up. From here, you're going to be turning to your left and my right, turning on that axis of, yes, up and down, yes, arm comes across. For 2 breaths here, 2 Ujayi breaths, big full ones. And notice where the air goes as you breathe in. Perhaps the lungs open up, and then as we breathe out, see where it goes with that Ujayi breath. Now we're going to exit now, inhaling. Arms look up to the sky, and then turning the other way. Hand comes down to the chair, yes, fantastic. Hand comes across. For 2 Ujayi breaths here, inhale, breathe out, breathing in, breathing out. I'm just going to give an example of the chair. All right, so from here, we're going to breathe in. We're going to come down for our forward fold. Pause, 2, 3, back up. We're going to rotate now, exhaling. Reaching around, reaching across the arms, up and down without leaning. Yep, you don't need to lean. Yep, that's it. Great work. 2 full breaths. 1 more. And then inhaling to come up through the nose. And then maybe notice as we exhale. When we do this breaths in, these next 2, just see how through the nose the air conditions as we breathe in through our nose. All right, we're all preparing you for this regulations for when you have a go at doing the scuba. All right, we're going to be going through our different ones. All right, everyone's going to have a crack. Or maybe we'll do a back down. All right. Or maybe some snorkeling during summer. Let's come up now, and then we'll meet here. All right, so let's just stay for a moment, and we're going to go and do this, and we'll do this a little bit more, but I'm going to teach you it now while we're on the breath work, is maybe we can see if we could, we're doing alternate nose breathing. Come up to the seat. Do you want to give him a, yeah, oh, there we go. Fantastic. Do you want to, yeah, have a sit down, man. Yeah, fantastic. All right, from here, if you're on the seats, maybe our 2 fingers, right? So one hand, 2 fingers. So this one here, yeah, this one here, Scout's Honor. Right, so let's place this between our eyes. Now we've got our finger and our ring finger. So, yeah, whichever way works for you, we're going to block 1 nostril first. All right, we're going to inhale through that nostril. And then we're going to switch nostrils with our hands, our fingers, and then we're going to breathe out through the other nostril. We're going to pause, 2, 3, then breathe in through that nostril again. Switch our thumbs or forefinger and then breathe out. Let's try and do this 2 more times. That's one cycle, inhaling. Allow your body to grow as well. Switch and exhaling. 1 more, inhaling. Switch fingers, exhale. Now we're using the different sides of our brains as we do this. Switch fingers, exhale. Last one now. Exhaling. Fantastic work. All right, let's shake that off. And then if you make your way to standing, please. We'll all do this little chair. Or actually, we could, yeah. All right, so what we'll do is we'll do our little example first. of getting up and down from the chair. Are you okay? If you could, please get your chairs and place them so that the back's towards us. If you feel confident using cat-cow, we'll be doing cat-cow. So if you want to go onto the mat, you can, but what we'll be doing is a different variation of cat-cow. So for those who want to choose to do on the mat, we're going into tabletop, hands splayed, hands shoulder width apart, knees shoulder width apart, knees under elbows. And I'll just describe that straight to you first. For us now, we'll go through this with me first time. Just hold on for the guys in the chairs. So we're breathing in, dipping our belly and looking forward, and then exhaling as we round our back, push away with our hands, and then tuck our tailbone. So inhaling, Ujayi breath, and then exhaling. I want you to do that 10 times. If we're on the chair, let's have a look at me for a second. So in your own time, I want you to explore that Ujayi breath that we were just doing then as well. All right, so carry on. For those on the ground, on tabletop, for us that are on the chair, what I want you to do now is grab the front corners. All right, we're going to bend our knees a little bit. Our feet are looking down. All right, what we do is we inhale and we just look up. Look towards the top of the chair. And as we're exhaling, we're tucking our head, tucking our chin and pushing away with our hands and then rounding our back. So inhaling, we might push our duck bum out, right? And then look forward and then exhaling. Fantastic work. So inhale, yes. Look towards the back of here so we're not dumping on our neck for the ones in the chair. And then exhaling, pushing in, tuck your head as the last bit. Fantastic work. All right, amazing. Cool. So we'll do that for a couple more rounds. I'm hearing some really good breathing here, everyone. That's the way to do it. And exploring as well, allowing you to do this in your own time, will allow you to explore where that breath goes as we do this. All right, so we'll finish off now. And then what we're going to do is we'll meet in neutral spine. Yes, neutral spine, forward. All right, for those on the ground, what I'm going to ask you to do now is maybe take your knees slightly wider, but keep your feet there. And then what we'll do is we'll step our hands maybe one hand extra forward. And what we're going to do is we can untuck the toes and then we're going to push our tailbone back. So inhale, and then exhaling as we push our tailbone back and maybe come down. We might put our head on forehead on the ground, or it might be up. All right, this is called child's pose. All right, so what we're doing from here, if you're on the floor, is inhaling, come forward to that sort of modified tabletop, and then exhaling, coming down to sit there. Fantastic. If we're in the chair, we're doing the same thing, but what we might do is just take a half step back with our feet, half step back, so then that way we've got a little bit more length to inhale. We're going to change our body and then move it over our hands, and then exhaling as we push our tailbone back, and maybe you might lengthen your arms to the front as well. What we're looking for here is the lengthening of the spine. So you don't actually need to be sitting right back in either position. What I want you to feel for, or maybe notice, is as you come forward, we've got that articulation of the back. We might have a slight back bend as we look forward, and then we slowly but surely, yes. And then feeling for the extension of our spine all the way from our tailbone, going through all the way to the tips of our fingers. It's stretching the shoulders and it's stretching, yes, fantastic work. All right, so that's part of moving from our ground flow. Amazing. So we'll just finish this up now. If you're on your knees wide, doing the child's pose, bring your knees back in. All right, so from here, we're going to give a couple of different options for our sorry, I had a mental blank then. For coming up to downward dog. So I'll give the floor option first. Right, if you need to shake your hands up, just shake the hands off, because it could be quite a fair bit on your wrists for a while as well. Sorry, I did forget about that. Give it a bit. All right, so what we'll do from here, if you're on the mat, let's splay our hands, making sure that our hands underneath our shoulders. shoulder width apart. We're going to tuck our toes. So tuck your toes in. Maybe you could just feel those toes being tucked. So from here, we're going to inhale to set, and then we're going to exhale. We're going to just lift our knees up an inch from the ground. Right, exhaling. And we're going to push out on against our palms. Inhale, and then push against our palms. Fantastic. I want you to do that 3 more times just to get a feel for how we're lifting up. If we're in the chair, what I want you to do is I want you to take your legs a little bit further back, right? And then from here again is just taking your weight from here and then just doing a slight dip and pushing against your hands. Slight dip, pushing against your hands. All right? Pushing against your hands. Fantastic. Yes, so slight dip with your elbow and then push up. Yes, elbows are pointing back. Yes, fantastic. And then we'll all meet back at that neutral position. For those on the mat, we're going to be coming up now to to downward facing dog. So from here, we're going to inhale to set, exhaling, lifting the knees up, and then we're pushing away with our hands and then pushing our tailbone back and then taking our gaze to our feet. You can keep your belly on your thighs for this. And it's the same as when we were in that feeling is we're pushing our hands away, right? And then you're going to get that sensation of being like in the child's pose, lengthening your back. That's what it's all about, right? So maybe then you might want to transition back to the ground, and we'll do this 2 more times, right? Like this. 1, and then holding down, connecting your breath to it. If we are in the chair, so continue on with that lifting, taking the gaze to the feet, yes, pushing our tailbone up, but we're pushing away with our hands and feeling for that. If we're in our chair, basically what we're doing is we're straightening our arms and then we're pushing back on our legs and then feeling it here. So we're keeping a bit of a squared look through and then our gaze is at our feet. Sorry, I just had a mental blank then for a second explaining it. And then what we can do is just maybe take a step forward from here and then a step back and then taking our foot to the gaze, lengthening the arms. Step forward, look up, step back, pushing our tailbone back. Amazing. Fantastic. All right, so let's all meet in our downward dog. Yes, everyone's in downward dog. So let's all meet in downward dog if you're wherever you are, on the chair or on the mat. Oh, yeah, maybe move the chair if you've got your socks on. Maybe move the chair if that's okay onto the mat. Yeah, we don't want you to slip. Right. Yes, from there, take lots of little steps. Meet your hands and take lots of little steps. Walk your legs up or walk your hands up and forward to meet in forward fold. All right, let's meet in our forward fold. Yes, looking down. Yes, fantastic. And then let's grow, stacking 1 vertebrae at a time. Amazing. Hands come out as we roll the shoulders back. And then up. And then down. Fantastic. Right, this is a lot of the sun salutations. We've worked on this. It's amazing how far you've come in the last few weeks. All right, so let's just do a little bit of this now with our forward folds before we get into our standing practice of our warrior series. From here, all right, so we'll be doing a halfway lift to forward fold a couple of times just to be able to come down. Looking at our hips, let's look at that again. Remember, we're just feeling the hips. We could just maybe use our thumbs to feel them come forward, like duck bum, come forward. And then it might help if you think about pulling your belly button in at the front towards your spine. All right, so duck bum and then coming in, right, okay. Oh, okay, all right. Okay, no, I won't go there. We won't go there. All right, take the blue, okay. Andy, so my mind just goes, woo. Anyway, come back to the breath. All right, let's do this from here. We've got our perfect positioning again, as always, is lifting our toes up, feeling the ground and feeling our weight backwards and forwards. Our hands now, we can loosen our shoulders, head slightly, chin slightly tucked, not fully, but slightly tucked. And then inhaling As we take our hands to the sides and up, looking to our thumbs, and then exhaling as we hinge from our hips. We might meet the floor, we might meet a block, we might meet the chair. Last thing to go is our head. Maybe your belly is on your thighs. You bend your knees as much as you need to. From here, I just want you to do some yes and no's, just to feel that your neck is loose. So let go of shrugging your shoulders. Maybe you might want to grab your hands or elbows with each hand and allow the weight of your arms to give you that little bit, that sense of stretching in that lower back, right, and the sacrum. Right, and then as we do it now, let go of the hands. Hands meet mat. And we're going to come up now to halfway lift. Inhaling as we straighten the legs, our hands come onto our thighs. Our gaze is going to come straight to the ground. And it's like a bookshelf. Yes. From here, we're going to exhale. Remember to connect the Ujayi breath again. So we're going to inhale through the nose. We'll do this 2 more times. And then exhaling. And see where the air goes when we do our Ujayi breath out. Inhaling. Let go of your stomach as we come in now on this last one. And then inhaling to go all the way to the top. As we go all the way to the top. And then down. Fantastic. That's our other series. What was it? Sun salutation series. Now, if you need to have a chair, what we'll be doing is a little bit of side stretching before we get into our warrior series, because I want to make sure that we warm up our sides. So from here, standing foot shoulder width apart. If you've got the chair, you'll see it here, so then you can see each one for the examples. Get the foot that's closest to the chair, or okay, your right foot, lift that up and then place it in front of the other foot. Yeah. Maybe squeeze the butt a bit, yeah? So you can have it, it doesn't need to be right next to each other. All right, so from here, we have this stretch. Now this foot that's in front of the other, we're lifting that hand all the way to the top, yes? What we'll be doing now is just thinking that we're gonna lift this hand up and we're gonna push this hand down and push the hips out. Inhale, and gonna exhale. Lengthening our side, body, and spine in the standing banana. All right, that's what we call the standing banana. Inhaling and exhaling, coming out of it. All right, we're stretching our side body here, ready for extended side angle, which we're going to be doing. We'll do this 2 more times on the same foot. Inhale to set. Exhale to change your foot. We do it in stages. Inhaling, hand comes up. Oh, take your time. And then exhaling. From here, let's do 2 more and see what we do when we have our Ujayi breath. Inhaling. Exhaling. Maybe we stretch a little bit further. Inhaling. Maybe we stick our hip a bit further. However much you want today. Inhaling. Come to set and then come down. All right, shake it out. We'll be doing the other side in a minute. So inhale to set. Exhaling. Foot moves. All right, one at a time. Then we could get our base in. We've got a nice solid base. All right, we're balancing now. Inhaling, hand comes up. Exhaling, we're reaching up and reaching down at the same time. All right, and pushing the hip out. Maybe you might feel for the side body 2 full breaths. Oh, it's all right, hold on to the seat. Fantastic work. 1 more. Inhaling, come up, and then exhaling. 1 more time. So I'll switch sides if you want with the chair, but you know where we're going with it. You're moving your left foot this time around. So coming to, once we've moved, we can shake it out a little bit. I always like to shake it out so then our body knows we're trying to do something else different. And that's just me as an instructor. I like to be able to then go, okay, this is the next move. So from here, we're standing in our mountain pose. So inhaling, it's your which one was the one? Yeah, so yeah, your left leg, inhaling to set, and then exhaling as we cross our leg over and then have that balance. All right, this is also part of the, yeah, here we go. Yes, fantastic work. Standing straight, inhaling, right, left hand comes up, and then exhaling. As we reach up and down, maybe we stick our hip to the side. All right. I remember that they used to call this the Davy Crockett stance when you were standing up shooting. Right, so inhale, exhale. One more time, inhale, exhale, inhaling, and then down. Yeah, so the Davy Crockett stance was like this, sticking the hip out like this. I don't know, I never liked it, but that was just one of the different shooting positions that we used to do. I think that was this. That's more that's more like the, you know, the lollipop guy, you know, the traffic controller. Yeah, the stance. Anyway, we'll do this 2 more times on each side. Inhaling, set, exhaling, move the foot. Amazing. Inhaling, this hand comes up, and then exhaling. 2 full breaths here. Banana. 1 more. Yes, that's okay. Wobbles are good. Inhaling, back up, and then exhaling, back down. All right, so this is where we're discovering our feet and then grounding, and then how we be able to balance when we're doing some of these stretches. I'll move this out of the way for the moment. All right, so let's just shake it off. If you want to have a quick drink, we can do so now, because I'm going to move this over here. All right, I'm coming over here, but that's all right. We'll start off the front. So if you want to move the chairs out of the way, that'll be great. And what we're doing is we're coming into our warrior series. I'll move this over here. Move this over here so we get a better view, eh? Okay, for the playback for everyone. Can everyone see me? Oh, just put this here. It's all about trying to get this happening for the people who can't make it here. All right, so we'll start off at the top of the mat, everyone. And the first leg that's going to be, so the top of this mat, yes, sorry, facing this way, facing where I was. We're going to be moving our left leg and then facing towards me when we make the move. All right, so from here, again, what we'll be doing is, can everyone see? All right, so I'll move around as well so you can have a bit of a better view. Is inhaling to set, and then exhaling is we're moving, shifting our leg back to double width apart. Yes, fantastic. And now you're facing me. Now let's look at our feet. All right, if we're going to use the mats, you're going to be, it's going to feel like you're pigeon-toed. So we're taking double width apart. Legs are double width apart. They're facing the long edge of the mat. So both feet, yes. Turn your other foot, yes. All right, maybe you might want to bend your knees slightly so that we're not locking them out. We're not locking them out at all. We're having a micro bend. And then from here, we're placing our hands on our hips, inhaling. Next thing to move is your right foot as we exhale, and we're going to pivot towards the short edge of the mat. Doing this in stages, yes. And then from here, bend your knee. And what we're doing is we're pushing on equally on the balls of our toes and then on the back foot, the back blade of the foot. Fantastic. From here, you might feel that your body's changed. So inhaling, turn it towards me again. All right, cool. All right, so let's have a look at our knees. If you feel your knees come in, let's just maybe look at it out. Right, we're opening up our hips. Fantastic work. Inhaling, arms are coming up. And then exhaling, looking to the front of the mat. Fantastic work. All right, let's just do this in reverse now. Inhaling, hands come down, coming with our foot, and then standing back to the front of the mat. Yes. All right, so we're going to do this in stages again, and then just be able to feel for that hip opening. All right, so inhale to set. Exhaling, move the foot back, facing towards me. Amazing work, yes. That's great. Inhale to set again. Moving your right foot towards the front of the mat, and then bending the knee. Yes, like this. Yes, we're pushing equally on each side, so that we're standing tall, hands are on the hips, inhaling, and then exhaling, looking over the shoulder, sorry. Just like we're at right dress. All right, so you're looking over the tips of the fingers. Let's look down now. You might have your knee bent, yes. We're pushing equally on each side. Take your time, bend the front knee, yes, fantastic. And then inhale, it's set, and then step to the front. Fantastic work. Let's do this one more time before we change sides, and then give the other side a go. So inhale to set, exhale, move the foot, double shoulder width apart. Let's look at our feet, both facing the long edge of the mat. Inhale to set again, hands on hips. Exhaling, moving your right foot to the short edge of the mat, bending the knee, pressing against each part of the foot. Right, we're feeling for our hip opening up here. And then we turn our body and torso towards me. Yes. Bend the knee a little bit more. Yes. Inhaling to set. Arms and the wings come out like a F-14 Tomcat. Right, and then left. Did I get the right plane? Right. And in under the wrap here. Okay, looking over the fingers for 2 full breaths. Inhaling. Exhaling, reaching for the front and back of the room. Next one is inhale, and then pressing down on our feet. And then inhale to set, and then coming to the front of the room. Amazing work. Excellent. Let's do this now for the other side. And I'm going to come over here into this little corner so you can see this. All right. Trying to give the little options for you. So from here, I'm going to inhale, and then the right foot's going to move. Exhaling, yes. Amazing. All right, from here, inhale, hands on hips, and then exhaling, left foot moves towards the front of the room, bending the knee, feeling for the hip opening. Now look down at your knee, and just make sure that your knee is tracking over the toes. If it's not and it feels like it's collapsed, which means it's coming in like this, you want to move your knee out or maybe shorten the stance so then you're feeling that sense that your hips are opening up. Fantastic. Excellent work, everyone. So now we're pushing on that back blade of the foot that's facing the long edge of the mat, and we're pushing on the toes of our foot with the knee that's bent. Inhaling to set. Arms up, sorry. And then looking over. Yes. What am I doing? I was doing opposite, right? Fantastic. Let's do 2 breaths here. Reaching for the front and back of the room. One more. Maybe pushing the feet away. Inhale to set. And we're going to come back to the front of the room, hands together, exhaling. Fantastic work. Let's do this 2 more times now. Because we know where we're going, I'm going to cue it that little bit faster, but we'll connect to the breath. All right, facing the front of the room, facing the short edge of the mat. Fantastic. The foot that's going to move is your right foot. Inhaling to set. Hands on hips. Exhaling, move the foot. Double shoulder width apart. Both feet facing the short edge of the mat. Inhaling to set. Rotating the foot to the front. Bending the knee. Pushing on the back blade of the foot. Equal distance as well as the balls of the feet. Right. Inhale to set. Arm comes up. Exhaling, looking over the shoulder. For 2 full breaths. Inhale. Expand. As we exhale. Inhale. And then exhaling. Pushing on our feet. Inhale to set. We're coming to the front of the room now. Fantastic. Stepping up. And then letting go, shaking it out. Fantastic work. All right, let's do this 1 more time. And then we'll add to this, which will be our reverse warrior. Inhaling to set. Hands on hips, exhaling, rotate, feet move double shoulder width apart, pushing on both blades of the feet, set, shoulders, exhaling, rotate the foot to the front, bend the knee, feeling that sense of opening up the hips, pushing equally against both sides of the feet. Fantastic work. Inhaling, wings are coming up, and then exhaling, looking down the hand. Right, fantastic. This is a bit of a right dress. Inhaling. Reaching for the front and back of the room. 1 more time. All right, fantastic. Inhaling and then exhaling. Inhale to set and then coming to the front of the room. And that's absolutely amazing that you're being able to do this from our previous ones in the chair as well. So that's a good way to be able to do it, to be able to get the rotation. And then also, I'm just going to take a quick break here to show whoever's in the chair, if you're in the chair, how you could do this with the legs. So what you've been doing is amazing, and I apologize that I didn't pick up on this sooner. Right, so maybe shift your weight a little bit forward to the mat. Now, when we move our feet, we're going to move them in the same way, but we're just moving the 1 foot. So the 1 foot, and then maybe what we're doing is opening up, that sense of opening up the hip. So from here is moving the foot when we rotate it around. So maybe you might want to double width apart, is take our legs a bit wider. And then when we rotate the foot, is rotating it so then that way we can feel for our hip opening up. That's the big one here in the stance, is feeling for the hip opening, especially if we're in the chair, right, boom, and then we rotate around. So that's that different feeling of our hip coming from being our toes facing forward to the side, and that's that hip socket. All right, let's do this one more time. Was that 2 times that side?
5.
Was 5? All right, let's go to this side again. Oh, right. Okay, we're adding to it now. We're adding to this now, and this is called reverse warrior. So the very same. I will talk you through everything. All right, so same again, this time with those foot. So we're standing at the front of the mat in mountain pose. Yes, fantastic. Breathe in, hands on hips, breathe out, move your left leg. Double shoulder width apart. Let's look at our feet again. Let's maybe widen them up a little bit. Yes, maybe you might want to bend your knees. It's kind of like you're riding a horse, right? So that's where you're going with that slight bend in the knees. Fantastic. Inhale to set. Exhaling, rotate the foot, bending the knee. Fantastic work. Right, inhale to set. Arms come up, and exhaling as we look over our shoulder. All right, from here, let's take 2 breaths. Inhaling, exhaling, reaching forward, inhaling, exhaling. Now this is a little bit different. So from this position, we're going to inhale as we reach forward, and then when we can't reach anymore, flip your hand over. All right, what we're doing now is scooping back, keeping that knee bent, and scooping back and looking to the sky with our hand. And maybe you might have that sense that the side body is being stretched as well. That's why we did our side body stretches before. We're going to do 2 breaths here. Reverse warrior. 1 more. From here, we're going to come down now. Arms over, and then come to the front. Right. Sorry, I should have explained that a little bit better. I was going to add 1 extra move. I thought, no, let's just stage this up. One at a time. One at a time. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come in. So let's just face me. We'll start off from this, and we're just going to transition from warrior 2 to reverse warrior. I'll give an example first so that everyone can see. Right, hand shoulder width apart. We have our hands on our hips. Rotate the foot. And this is our warrior 2 stance, all right? From here, this is what I meant before, is we reach forward, flip our grip, and then we scoop up where the back hand now rests on the chair or on the back of our leg, and we're looking up high here. And then from here is breathing out and then coming back to warrior 2. So warrior 2, reverse warrior. Warrior 2, reverse warrior. So we'll do that 3 times, okay? So from here, coming from our double foot width stance, right, so inhale, hands on hips, exhaling, rotate the foot, bending the knee, fantastic work, inhaling, hands come up, warrior 2, 2 breaths, 1 more, inhaling, reach forward, scoop, come back, exhale. Inhaling, come back to warrior 2, and then exhaling, pushing out. Inhaling, reaching forward, flip the grip, exhaling, scoop it up. 1 breath here. Inhale, exhale, inhale to set, exhaling, hand comes down, inhale 1 more time, exhaling, reach out, and we're coming up now, stepping to the front of the mat for the last one. Fantastic work. All right, so that is our reverse warrior to warrior 2 flow. I want you to remember that for the next week. All right, that's okay. Well, we're going through this in stages. I'm only joking. I wouldn't do it without talking you through it. All right, everyone. So I'm just going to move here. Can everyone see me? All right, that's okay. So from here, do you want to just move and then shift so that you're facing me? Short edge of the mat. So move your leg back, double shoulder width apart. Yes, fantastic. Sorry, I'd be in the wall if I was doing that. Yes, amazing. Yes, that's it. You guys at the back facing double shoulder width apart. Fantastic. Let's look at our feet again. All right, so from here, our feet are just double shoulder width apart. Maybe you might be taking a slight bend in your knees, and then you might let's just bounce up and down so we could feel that we're pushing on the outside blades of our feet. So from here, it's your left foot that's going to move. Inhale to set. Exhaling, hands on, rotating the foot, bending the knee, knees tracking over. Fantastic, right? For me, I like to have my stance a little bit wider, but for whatever feels comfortable for you today, right? From here, inhaling, and then exhaling, looking over our shoulder. Fantastic, looking to the tips of our fingers. 2 breaths, inhale. Through the nose, and then Ujayi breath out. 1 more. As we push on our feet. So inhale as we reach forward. Reach, reach, reach. When we can't go forward anymore, flip your hand and then scoop it back. The back hand might rest on our back leg and we're reaching up for the sky, having a side body stretch. For 2 breaths here. 1 more. Setting to go back to Warrior 2, inhale. And then exhaling as we bring our body back up, looking over our shoulder. Inhaling to set, and then pushing out. Inhaling, come forward, flip the grip, scoop it back as we breathe out. 2 breaths here. And maybe you might want to reach for the sky a little bit more each out breath. Inhaling as we come back up to Warrior 2, hands out. Inhale. Reach for the front of the room. Now we're stepping forward. Fantastic. All right, that was our standing series. That's amazing. You guys have just come forward so much now. So we've gone from our Warrior 2 to Reverse Warrior, and now we're flowing with this. And that portion of the section is usually what we call the flow portion. So that start bit. So I want to explain the sort of bits of the arrival was at the start. Maybe we set our intent, and then we also do some breathing. So then that way we could come into our bodies and feel what we're going to be doing when we start to get into the flow. The next part is the sun salutations, where we start to articulate our spine or move our spine and then create some more body heat as we warm up a little bit more. Once we've warmed up, then we go into the flow section where we might have our standing series or our balance series, which we did with our banana and then also with our Warrior 2 and Reverse Warrior. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to make our way back to the chair or down onto the mat. So we're going to come now to the final bit, and which is what we call the cool down. And whichever way you find easiest to be able to get to the floor or to the chair, right, let's make our way down. All right, so from here, now let me see what we could do there with the okay. All right, so yes, facing it that way with the chair. We're going to be doing a couple of different ones here, a couple of variations from here. So what I want you to do now is, if you're sitting up, maybe put both your feet, if you're on the floor, put both feet shoulder width apart. Maybe our hands might come out in a 45-degree just to support. So wherever you feel is comfortable for support, maybe your hands might feel back to the side or to the front, whichever way is okay. What we're doing is we're having our hands wide enough so then you feel like your shoulders are in that neutral position, like what we are when we're doing our mountain pose. From here, pull in your belly. And what we're going to do now is just do some core work. So if we're in the chair, I'll show you in a moment. So we're going to breathe in, breathe one leg up, breathe out, leg down. Left leg is next. Inhale, inhale. Breathe down. All right, this one you might want to take some weight up, is we're going to do both legs, inhaling. All right, point your toes, maybe your toes might come together. 3, 2, 1, down. All right, so this is what we're leading up to what we call boat pose. All right, so hold there for a second. If we're in the chair, we're going to be doing a very similar one, right? What we'll do is we'll be leaning back. So we'll sit up on the edge. We'll bring our hands back a little bit. So then that way we're supported, and we're going to bring our leg up, put it down. Leg up, put it down, and then the next one is legs up, point the toes, and then down. Yes. So we'll be testing our abs as well. In boat pose, we'll do a couple of rounds of this. All right, let's turn this around. Okay. Boat pose. This is our modified boat pose. From here, right leg is the first one to move. Inhaling. Exhaling. Left leg, inhaling. Exhaling. Both legs, inhale. Hold. Maybe you might want to let go of your hands. 3, 2, 1, down. All right, fantastic work, everyone. Maybe you could give from here, even in the chair, is just give yourself a quick windshield wiper before we go again. All right, we're testing our abs. All right, from here, let's go. Slightly different, so it'll be lifting one leg and then lifting the other. So inhale, ready to set, shoulders are back. Right leg's the one that moves first, inhaling, right leg. Exhaling, left leg, bring both up, and then the other way around, left leg down first, and then 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2, okay? We'll do this with the left leg starting this time. So inhale, left leg, exhale, right leg comes up, inhale, right leg comes down, exhaling. All right, let's maybe put the legs out and shake it out. You might feel that your hip flexors are working as well as your core. All right, so from here, let's do this one more time. One round each side, starting with the right leg. Inhaling. Left leg. Inhale. Exhaling. All right, one more. Inhaling left leg. Inhaling right leg. All right, right leg down. Left leg down. From here, maybe you might want to lift both, give it a go, or lift both legs up at the same time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs down. Oh, woo. All right, so from here, maybe you might want to give yourself a little bit of a leg flossing, shaking your legs from side to side. You might feel your hip flexors. All right, fantastic work. So now, just maybe if we could all go onto our stomach a little bit, do our little crocodile again. So come onto your stomach if you can. If you're in the chair, I'll give you a variation. So just come down to the stomach, maybe put your hands down and then just lay on one cheek for those who are there. For whoever is going to be in the chair, this next one, if you could, we're just going to be opening up the leg a little bit. So what I want you to do from here, yes, facing that up. From here, what I want you to do is take one leg a little bit wider. And then we're just going to lean and then push back. So we're stretching our adductors, or the inside of our leg as we come down, when we're pushing our butt back a little bit. All right? And then each side, we might then move to the other side and lift the left leg and then push our butt back a little bit. And what you'll be aiming for, yes, and then push your tailbone so it's going to go straight back. Fantastic. So that's your variation in the chair. And what we're feeling for is the inside of our thigh is feeling a little bit of a stretch. So from here again, I'll quickly explain. Foot comes out a little bit, and then we push our tailbone back. And you might feel a slight stretch in here. For those who are on the floor, we're coming into what we call half frog. So from here, with your head, so you may choose to have your head still down, or you may choose to put your forearms on the ground, on the floor, yeah, whichever works, forwards, and then we're coming up like this. This is called sphinx pose. Our right leg is going to move. So from here, we're going to inhale, and then we exhale. Our right leg is going to come up parallel like a half frog. All right, this is like a shooter's position, right? So one of the shooting from the prone position, this is that position. And we're just gonna hold it for a couple of breaths. If you're in the seat, as we breathe out, what we're trying to do is breathe out and feel that stretch that little bit more on the inside of the leg. Here, in half frog, we're opening up and stretching the adductors as well as opening up the hips. One more. Coming back now, maybe put the head down for a moment to rest the arms, and then coming up. So we're switching sides. We're coming up to our sphinx pose. Forearms are here. Inhale to set. And then exhaling as we bring our left leg up by the side, hips lifting up. Yes, that's it. And then we could just sit into it. Now, as we cool down, right, is that with the breathing, still continue to breathe. As we cool down, we want to hold the stretches a little bit longer. And then in yin yoga, what we're doing is we're stretching the fascia muscle. Or when you have a bit of steak, right, and you see that bit of sinewy bit sometimes, it's a bit of a white bit if you're a meat eater. That's what we're actually trying to stretch a little bit in our bodies, right, is that part, because it doesn't stretch the same as what a normal muscle would be. So we're trying to go a little bit deeper and then holding the stretch for a bit longer. All right, from here we inhale and then exhaling. All right, from there, there's no more work to do. So if you roll onto your back, just roll over to your back, your head could be facing me. We're coming into what we call savasana now, or final resting pose. The work's done. Yeah, close the eyes down, whatever you feel comfortable with. All right, so you might go into a half shavasana there where your knees come in if your knees are up, is maybe have them knock down into each other. All right, yeah, if you're on your back, what I want you to do now is close the eyes down. You're in a safe spot, and then maybe just jiggle around a little bit and feel your shoulder blades come apart. Feel all the parts of your body that are touching the ground and allow them to get heavy. If you're in your seat, allow your body to get heavy by maybe shifting your body weight forward and then slumping down, just like a teenager would sit in the seat, right? And then just let your arms dangle. You can choose if your head feels comfortable by just having it back and looking out, that's fine. If not, we can just tuck our chin slightly and then take that soft gaze. I don't want you to be dumping onto your neck. So whichever way, close down your eyes. And then we can just go internal for a few breaths. Maybe you might notice the different parts of your body after the session, and maybe notice how they feel. If you feel that your mind's wandering, that's absolutely cool as well. Maybe think about your breath and then bring it back and focus on the breath. And then now I'm going to ask you to start coming back into your body, maybe by doing some yes-nos and rolling your neck a little bit, side to side. Maybe you might want to wiggle your fingers or your toes. Maybe you might bring your knees up, legs open, stretch whatever makes you feel good. Maybe you might want to reach your hands overhead like you're doing a first morning wake. Taking a couple of wakeful breaths there, inhaling, holding and tensing up, and then letting go. One more time, and then letting go. If you're on the floor, maybe bring your knees in to give yourself one last hug before allowing yourself to roll on to your preferred side in what we call the fetal pose. All right. You don't need to hug your legs there, just however it is. One couple of waking breaths and then make your way up to seated. Fantastic work. All right, so what we're going to be doing here now is we'll be doing 3 cycles of our alternate nose breathing, just to finalize our practice. So you could close down your eyes again if that works for you, or you could keep them open. I'll guide you through it. So we've got our peace scouts, Cub Scouts fingers again, place them in between the eyes, and now we've got our little thumb and our index finger. So block 1 as we inhale. Switch fingers, exhale through the other nose, pause, 2, 3, inhale, switch fingers, exhale, pause, 2, 3, 2 more rounds, inhaling, exhaling, pause, 2, 3, inhaling, switch fingers, exhaling, pause, 2, 3, last one, inhaling, switch, exhale, hold, 2, 3, inhaling, switch, exhaling, pause, 2, 3. All right, so close down the eyes. We're going to be finishing off with an om, whichever way you want to call it. If you're not quite ready to make the sound, pantomime the sound in your head. And we'll take 1 cleansing breath. Let it go. Prepare for om, inhaling. Oh, loosen your jaw. Bring your hands to prayer by our heart center or in between the chest to clarify intent. Bring our thumbs to our lips to clarify speech. What we say internally and externally is so very important. And then bring our thumbs to between our eyes or our third eye to clarify thought. Thank you for taking the time to allow me to guide you through your practice, and for taking the time to allow yourself to have some self-care and set you up for the rest of the week. Namaste.